Well, hello there, my friends. Back here for another episode of Hugh Talk. And today I've got a very unique episode for you. Never done one quite like this before. I think you're going to enjoy it. Today I'm going to be talking about my tarot cards. I'm going to be showing you my tarot card deck. Here it is right here. And I'm going to be talking about the deck. Explaining how I did my first reading. It's a great story about how I did my first readings in work here in London, and then I'm going to do a little general three-card reading for everyone, which is I'm excited about because I've never done a general reading before. I've always just done it individually or on video. So I'm here again offering those services again. If you'd really like to get a reading from me, I'm hoping that people who might be scared or have be suspicious of it, that maybe if you see me do it, that it'll kind of dispel any negativity you might have towards a tarot card reading. So here's my deck. Okay, so this is my Osho Zen Tarot deck. It's a box. Here are all the cards. I'm going to show you those now in a second. And also it comes with a booklet. And you open it up here, as you can see, it has little passages about each one of the cards as you go through all the different cards. And these passages I give on to people when I'm doing readings as well, in addition to my interpretation of the cards. So before I do that reading for you, I'm going to tell you a little quick story. It's a fun story that I think you're going to enjoy. But the very first day I did an in-person reading here in London. And it was at my work, and I think you're going to enjoy this. I brought in the deck and I was just shuffling it like this at my desk in the Actors Call Centre, and one of my supervisors, the lovely Rachel, was sitting beside me, and she says, "Will you do me a reading?" And I had done readings for my friend Shari before, she was teaching me about it, and I hadn't done one for a person in person. So I just said yes, didn't even question it, and we did it. And just by coincidence, or well, I don't believe in that, but some weirdness occurred then. How about that? Where basically what happened was the internet went down in my job, so nobody could work, and we were all sitting there waiting for it to get fixed. So Rachel and I did this reading, my first reading in person, and before I knew it, there was a queue of people lining up to do readings, and I think I did 10 or 11 that day before the internet basically came back on. The next day, the internet broke down again. I did another 10 readings. I think, I don't know, it was 20 or 30 readings in a couple of days I did every time the internet went down. So I got a perfect situation to start doing it in. And one of those, the experiences I had with this, which was particularly profound, was I won't say her name, but she know when she's watching this. But a particular girl that I work with had an experience. Her mom passed away when she was younger, and one of the cards we got, we were reading the interpretation of it, and it spoke specifically and directly about the experience of losing a loved one or parent. And when that moment happened, we both were sitting on kind of rolly chairs. Both of us kind of rolled back and looked at each other, and I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God." So the accuracy of this is kind of startling when you first do it, and I started to understand why my friend Shari recommended this deck for me. It's a perfect fit for my personality, for my interest, for my passion about spirituality and the things that matter to me. So what I'm going to do is, now that I've told you a little story, because I'm Irish, you got to tell stories, I'm now going to pick a couple of cards here for you, and let's see what we get. The first one, as you can see, very, very beautiful card called Creativity. Beautiful artwork on there. The second card we have is Moment to Moment. Again, very interesting artwork. See all the buildings there in the background, which is you sometimes can miss when you first look at it. And then this other card here, which is with these trapeze artists, and this is card of totality. So with these three cards, just speaking in a general sense here, I mean, creativity, especially for all my creative friends out there, that as I look at the creative card, it's reminding of kind of like you're going back to kind of like the source of your creativity. You now have time to actually stop and breathe and think, and whether it's like future projects that you have been I've been wanting to record this album or write songs for this new album, or whether it's been, you know, I want to really work on my accents so I can, you know, do more characters. But there's, you know, this really what this is talking about, this card, is going back to that creativity, that spark that started it all for you. We're all rushing around so busy all the time. It's very difficult sometimes to just do things moment to moment, because we're like, but if I don't do this and if I don't do that and I've got to do this, and we have all these pressures and external voices coming to us, whether that's be our work colleagues or our friends or people, why are you doing this and why are you not? And this is all this, like, there's a great book called The Four Agreements, and it talks about something called metote, which another word for that would be white noise, just basically all this noise that's around us. And moment to moment is a very, very difficult thing to do. When you do it, it will change your life. I talked about my moment for getting into moment to moment in one of my previous videos. The next time you go to the park or go to the ocean, if you're lucky enough to live by the ocean, just go out, just take your time, look around, look at the ocean, you know, feel the breeze in your face. If you're walking through a forest or a park, like, look at the plants, the trees, just slow down, just like as if you're just like, take your time. That is moment to moment, and so important, which leads perfectly into this card, totality. Now this is an interesting card because you'll see there's the you know, the trapeze artists, and the card, when it talks about this card in the book, in a little booklet, it talks about, you know, the trust that a person has to have as a trapeze artist. Just trust absolutely that if they move their body in the right way and they just reach out, that their partner is going to be there to catch their hands. It's in an awful lot of trust. And it's this card for me is just talking about, you know, it's like, what you have to do is go back to that creative spark, the whole thing, the reason you got into music or acting in the first place, or whatever it is your job is, and in that space, you know, have the courage and just to take the steps towards becoming moment to moment, change your life. And then you have to trust, and that's what the totality is speaking of. You just have to trust. It's like, some people say let go of the wheel, but you just have to trust that that you're going the right direction. You're reconnecting with your purpose, the passion that you have. Could there be a higher calling than that? And when you reconnect with that and your passion, and then your enthusiasm returns, and you start to have fun, and that's where the magic starts to happen. Very interesting. I've really enjoyed doing this reading with you today because, as I said, this is my first time to do kind of a general reading, and it's just fascinating to me how this unfolded. It's a perfect general reading, these three cards. I mean, there's like, you know, out of 79 cards, and these are the three that we get. So perfect for a general reading. Interested to see what my people out there will think of this, how they've responded to it. I hope this has been eye-opening for those of you who have never done any kind of tarot or oracle card reading before. Nothing but love to all of you, my soul family and friends, and soon to be soul family and friends if we're just meeting for the first time. Nothing but love for you, sending all that love out to you. Boom.